our culture is competitive, man.
Right.
It is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, you're not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that you want to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you still compete. It don't make sense.
50 Cent and Eminem are officially joining forces, and they are directly targeting Jay-Z without holding back. They are raising serious accusations about shady deals, stolen credit, rigged award shows, and even careers, supposedly left in ruins. This is no longer just background noise. It's turning into a full-blown fire. 50 Cent claims that Jay-Z is still trying to block his business moves even today.
Well, that vote is fake as f. That's not a real vote. That's not a real vote. They give it to who they want to give it to. They give it to their darlings.
Cowboy Carter. Beyoncé.
In 2025, Eminem has been raising the alarm for years, warning everyone about how dark and dirty the music industry really is. Lately, he's been slipping cryptic lines into his songs, subtle hints about powerful gatekeepers controlling things behind the scenes. But it doesn't stop there. Beyoncé's name is now caught up in the controversy, facing serious accusations of stealing songwriting credits and allegedly blocking other women in the industry. People are pointing fingers at names like Aaliyah, Maya, Mary J. Blige, and Carrie Hilson, women who were rising up and then suddenly disappeared, with everything going silent.
It's the price you pay, when you're early in your career, you feel that you have to listen. And when you buck, they buck harder. And they make threats, and those threats are huge ones.
Jay-Z and Beyoncé's close connection with Diddy is raising alarms again. People are starting to ask questions. Jay-Z may have avoided a lawsuit filed by Jane Doe, but now the alleged victim is dropping serious hints. She says she felt pressured to stay quiet after a shady person showed up at her door. That's next level scary. So now everyone is asking the real question. Are Jay-Z and Beyoncé really the perfect power couple they appear to be? Or are they experts at hiding problems when no one is watching? Have they stayed at the top by stepping over others? And do 50 Cent and Eminem really have inside information? Are they about to expose a system that has ruined artists' careers, maybe even risking lives?
So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL has some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You start looking at that's not mine. That's theirs. They harbor, right? But when you look at M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, myself. Like, I'm a shady actor. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so much G in the records.
Right.
They forget that I'm in Dre's.
For years, Jay-Z and Beyoncé seemed untouchable. Say one bad thing about them, and boom, instant backlash. People would call you bitter or jealous. This time, 50 Cent has the evidence to back it up. Back in 2023, he claimed that Jay-Z tried to block him from performing at the Super Bowl halftime show, using his NFL connections to pull strings behind the scenes. Wild, right? But here's where it really flipped. Jay-Z's plan completely backfired because Eminem wasn't going to let it happen.
Your soul to get them, and you didn't know if you wanted it for the recognition or the trophies, but then what's the difference? And that Grammys pretty much suck the blood of artists and nominate them, have them come to the shows, and
Which they do. They do it every year. Yeah, and I'm just tired of seeing it. And for whatever reason, it's like they're always pitching this hint that you might win Album of the Year, which used to be a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal now.
That bold move alone showed how far Jay-Z was willing to go just to keep 50 Cent out of the spotlight. Fast forward to 50's recent interview on Talk with Flea, featuring Cameron, and once again, he's calling out Jay-Z. According to 50, Jay-Z is still making moves behind the scenes, not just in music, but in the boardrooms too. And the wildest part, 50 says Jay-Z has already shown exactly who he is and what he's capable of.
What he was doing with the Super Bowl. Because he was doing like, yeah, guys, doing some wild things. Because he was saying that to Eminem that the NFL had the issue with me. And I'm like, well, what's the issue? Why don't I have an issue when I'm becoming a partner in the actual team, but they got an issue with my performance? Right? Makes no sense.
So I was going to get to that later, but since we're here now. And when he says "oh boy" for the audience, that
Yes,
he's talking about Jay-Z. This was discussed before. Jay-Z told Dr. Dre, just for people who's not up on this, or Eminem, that he didn't want you to perform part of that Super Bowl they had a couple years ago. Why do you think that is?
Well, I just
Threatened?
Yeah,
Possibly?
not even threatened. You know, I think it's just when you take the competition from like our culture is competitive. It is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that he would want to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you still competing. It don't make sense. Like what we competing for? What's the goal? Like this even like a lot of the competitive stuff, or what we would call it beef, right? It changed. That terminology changed when it's Biggie and Tupac, because we start saying the things that people would say that cause beef in the environment. When before that they called it bad blood in our culture. Right. Because that's what it is until it turns into some street shit. So when you're not competing for those things anymore, and you start looking and you're going, so what was the problem? You can't exactly remember what the problem was. That's what.
Yet, he's allegedly still trying to sabotage 50 Cent's business deals out of pure spite. He just can't let it go. And it doesn't stop there. Now, 50 Cent and Eminem are teaming up, ready to expose what they say is full-on Grammy rigging. 50 is pointing fingers directly at Jay-Z, claiming he's used his marriage to Beyoncé like a cheat code to grab awards. Meanwhile, Eminem has been warning for years that the Grammys are a scam-a-Padawan system where real talent doesn't matter. And when Beyoncé finally won Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter, not everyone celebrated. Fans started whispering that Jay-Z had pulled strings again, especially since just the year before.
Andre Young, thank you, sir. All the doors that you opened, showed us that we could be rock stars, seeing you on the Rolling Stone. Obviously, there's Run DMC with the Leathers and the Aerosmith, but when you came out west, you took it to a whole new level. Some of you don't belong in the category. No, that was it. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
He went on that Grammy stage, calling out the Recording Academy for snubbing his wife. But here's where it got even stranger. Fans weren't buying Jay-Z's speech. It felt off, fake, like he was holding an award while attacking the very people who gave it to him. People asked, if the Grammys are really that biased, why even show up? Why not walk away and prove you don't need their approval instead of begging for it on stage? That whole vibe got everyone talking even louder. Are the Carters really earning their trophies through talent, or is it all about blackmail and big money deals behind the scenes? For years, insiders have said the Grammys aren't really about talent. It's all industry, politics, and secret deals. And one of the loudest voices calling it out has always been Eminem. He's been saying for years that the whole Grammy system is a scam, and he means it. He even promised never to show up again, and he kept that promise. But don't get it wrong, Eminem isn't upset just because he didn't win. He said clearly, if another artist truly released a better album than him, he'd respect it. What really bothers him is how the Grammys use his name. They hype Eminem, plaster his face on promotions, make it look like he has a real chance at winning, just to boost ratings. Then, when the show happens, boom, he gets shut out like he was never even in the running. Pure smoke and mirrors. And, when someone asked if he'd consider coming back if he joined the Grammy voting panel, he didn't hesitate. He said it wouldn't change anything. Why? Because, in his own words, the whole thing is rigged.
50 did not win Best New Artist at the Grammys.
There was nothing bigger than
Nothing bigger, and nobody since maybe like Snoop came out the gate like that. My first album didn't do it. I never saw someone's first album and the wave happen like he had. And then he doesn't get it. And then I get up there another year, and what was it, the Eminem show? And it was like, whatever, I'm fine if I lose to Kanye or someone that I'm like, okay, I respect that. I know who that is, and Kanye has a huge following, and he's made a massive impact on music. Fine, I'm good with that. But don't get us all here to use your selling point for your show and stiff everybody every single time. And I said, after that point in time, I was like, don't ever ask me to here again. Please do not ask me. My answer is no for 100 million years. Never again will I.
Those votes don't mean a thing. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is right there with him. throwing even more shade. He's not just calling the Grammys rigged 50, says Jay-Z's wins have nothing to do with music. According to 50, Jay is stacking awards because of his marriage to Beyoncé. He claims the Recording Academy knows the deal. As long as Jay and Beyoncé show up, they get the trophies. The cameras flash, ratings soar, and suddenly, the show is trending everywhere. So, the move is clear. Keep nominating Jay and Beyoncé. Keep giving them awards, just to make sure the power couple brings the spotlight with them. But 50 Cent didn't stop there. On his recent appearance on the Flagrant podcast, he went even harder. He said straight up that Jay-Z's empire, all those Grammys, isn't about raw talent, it's about who he's married to. He even called Jay and Beyoncé's relationship a contract, suggesting they may be keeping it together for image, deals, and power. Crazy, right? But it's not just 50 saying Jay is playing dirty to stay on top. For years, insiders have whispered that both Jay-Z and Beyoncé have allegedly blocked other artists on purpose, so no one else shines too bright. And then there's the dark story of Beyoncé's former bodyguard, Uncle Ron. Before he passed from pneumonia, Uncle Ron went public, saying he had receipts real proof that Jay-Z and Beyoncé ruined careers, destroyed lives, and crushed rising stars, all to secure their throne. He said he knew too much, and the timing of his death has people talking. And then there's Jaguar. She used to sing backup for Jay-Z, but now she's one of his loudest critics. Jaguar has been spilling heavy tea, claiming people close to Jay like Harlem legend Big Leather mysteriously died or saw their careers vanish just as Jay was rising. Let's pause for a moment on Big L. In the early 90s, he was one of Harlem's brightest stars, a lyrical powerhouse known for insane freestyles. The streets were buzzing with his name. He signed with Columbia Records and released a debut that made waves. Even after Columbia dropped him, Big L didn't back down. He started his own label and was making serious moves. That's when Dame Dash, co-founder of Rockefeller, took notice. Big L was finally close to a big break. But just as his career was about to explode, tragedy struck. On February 15, 1999, Big L was killed in a Harlem drive-by. Years later, the case remains, cold no justice, no answers. Jaguar believes Jay-Z might have been involved, and she isn't holding back. That's the kind of suspicion swirling around his name right now.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as that was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you,
Rest in peace, Big L.
rest in peace, Big L. That was the sensei.
One of the dopest.
Big L was who put Jay-Z through.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z.
Now, from one legend to another, let's shift the spotlight to DMX. DMX was one of the few rappers besides 50 Cent who had the guts to call out Jay-Z face to face. He always said Jay was bitter, jealous, and moving in secret. When Jay became president of Def Jam in 2004, things got messy. DMX had been holding down Def Jam hard, with 5
Okay, I see what's really good. You're trying to eliminate the competition. You know, because at first you retire, then get me off the label. Now you're back rapping again. Okay.
But when it came time for his 6th project, Year of the Dog, again, DMX claimed Jay-Z purposely delayed it, just to clear the way for his own comeback. Pure power moves, all about control.
The game is bullshit, man. The game is bullshit. If you want to rap or sing or whatever, don't become a part of the game. You know what? Listen to a song I called The Industry. And that pretty much explains, what it's about. The industry. Man, it's not the same. The industry, it's not a game. The industry, real is dying to get in. The industry, just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that, but I'm going to dress like this and talk with the gap. The industry.
And the drama didn't stop there. In 2005, DMX shook things up with his track The Industry, where he laid it all out, exposing the shady games happening behind closed doors. Here's the wildest part. Most of what DMX called out back then is still happening today. Even Irv Gotti, a major industry insider, said it straight Jay-Z was jealous of DMX. Irv claimed Jay and his mentor, Liar Cohen, would sit back and laugh, thinking DMX would never make it.
One man can destroy another man's life. It's ultimately in your own decisions. I had a lot of issues. Like I said, legal issues at the time. And, my mind wasn't where I'm at now today. Like, I used to have questions like, why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top. He wouldn't let me breathe or rifle for me. Like I was always close. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on time. And it was like, damn, like to have in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But
Beanie made it very clear, Jay-Z's shady moves weren't accidental. According to him, every step Jay took was calculated to the max. And let's not pretend Beyoncé's hands are clean in all this either. Some fans say she's just Jay's puppet, but that story doesn't really hold up. There's no way Beyoncé has been standing next to Jay-Z all these years without being part of the strategy. If anything, they've been running the game side by side, allegedly clearing out anyone they see as a threat. Here's just a taste of that tea. When Beyoncé left Destiny's Child and got close to Jay, something strange happened. Jay allegedly pulled producer Rich Harrison away from rising star Emery, who was heating up and rumored to be real competition for Beyoncé. Remember Emery hit One Thing? That track had the same signature vibe as Crazy in Love. Some fans even think Beyoncé copied the formula after Harrison jumped ship. And it doesn't stop there. Look at Carrie Hilson. She had a public clash with Beyoncé that got completely out of control. Word on the street is Carrie's own producers allegedly tricked her into recording a diss track aimed at Bey, setting her up to get dragged and canceled on purpose. Carrie denied it at first, but things got worse when she refused to hold a magazine cover with Beyoncé and Jay-Z on it. "You want to hold the magazine?" they asked. When she said no, the Beyhive erupted. Carrie faced heavy backlash from fans, some even confronting her in public. Behind the scenes, whispers started circulating that Beyoncé may have orchestrated the whole thing. Some sources say Bey had insiders in Carrie's camp who lined her up to record that diss track, while Beyoncé kept her hands clean, playing the innocent victim. Years later, in a 2020 interview, Carrie partially confirmed it. She admitted she was pressured into dropping the track, and the threats she received afterward were very real. That wasn't just random drama, it was career sabotage disguised as a public feud.
It's the price you pay, when you're early in your career, you feel that you have to listen. And when you buck, they buck harder and they make threats. And those threats are huge ones. And you know what I mean? You don't feel like you have a choice. I really didn't feel like I had a choice. It was do this or this.
And we definitely can't forget about Kellis. She accused Beyoncé of stealing after Bey sampled her iconic hit Milkshake without giving her any credit. The wild part, Kellis didn't even know it happened until the internet told her. She found out like everyone else through social media. Kellis posted, "I heard about this the same way everyone else did. Nothing is ever as it seems. Some people in this business have no soul or integrity, and they have everyone fooled." Later, Kellis went on Instagram to explain the situation. In detail, she said this wasn't just about music, it was about respect. As black female artists, there aren't many holding real power in the industry. With all the mutual friends and personal ties, a simple phone call could have fixed everything, Kellis said. "It's not that hard to contact me, it's just common decency." Instead of apologizing or taking responsibility, Beyoncé quietly removed the sample and never said a word. No statement, no accountability, just silence. Then there's Mia, a name people don't hear enough anymore, and for all the wrong reasons. Word is she got blackballed after allegedly turning down Jay-Z's advances. Mia has been very vocal in interviews, saying there are powerful people in the industry who abuse their status, putting young, ambitious artists in risky situations. For Mia, she kept it simple. She said no and walked away. But that decision came with a cost. Mia hinted that refusing certain people led to her reputation being dragged through the dirt and her career quietly pushed aside. Now, looking at all the names that have spoken, up 50 Cent, Eminem, Kellis, Mia, Jaguar, Wright, DMX, Beanie, and more, the big question is clear. Are Jay-Z and Beyoncé just protecting their empire, or are they actively sabotaging the competition behind the scenes? And believe it or not, this list isn't even complete. If you think we left someone out, drop their name in the comments now. What's your take on these claims? Are the Carters really untouchable, or just masters at hiding the mess behind the scenes? Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with your crew. If you want more wild stories that pull back the curtain on the music industry, hit the bell so you never miss a drop. Catch you in the next one.